Well, these are the key capabilities
Oh yeah.
that the carriers had asked for in their CCM solution,
Hmm.
right? I think we should be talking about what they viewed as critical, right? Because
Yeah.
60% of them focused on e-signature, right? So, and other e-form capabilities, right? So, one of the things we do here at Aite Novarica is, in addition to research and advisory, we also consult and we help organizations with their in all manners of ways, including enhancing their processes, right? And
Hmm.
and one of the capabilities that e-signature is enabling technology to streamlining a process, right? And having electronic forms, it really eliminates a lot of delays, and it really allows much faster cycle times in terms of delivering the results of those processes. Another thing that we're seeing, and I just had a conversation with someone about it this morning, right? Again, 5 years ago, cloud was scary. We were all concerned about security issues. And now there's a mad rush to get off of the on-prem servers and get everything as much as we can into the cloud. And so,
Yeah.
some of those organizations that are in the vanguard of the transition to the cloud are looking at the solutions that remain on-prem, right? And so, CCM solutions that operate as a software as a service, a SaaS solution that can be that can that is no longer dependent on a server farm that you have to manage, is another key capability. We also talked about the making enabling the user community to be more self-sufficient, and getting IT out of the form gen business, and authoring tools are the key enabler to that transition.
Yeah.
Right, and then when we're looking at the top 10 trends, right, APIs were one of the top five, and here it's one of the top four trends, drivers of embracing a new CCM platform. I've got, my stack is all API enabled, and I want to be able to plug in my CCM via APIs. It'll accelerate and lower the cost of integrating that CCM solution, because I'm going to want to integrate it with many aspects. I'm going to want to integrate it with my policy admin. I'm going to want to integrate it with my billing. I'm going to want to integrate it with my claims. I'm going to have marketing solutions that I might want to integrate it with. So this thing's going to be integrated, many times. It's got to be easy to plug into different solutions, right? So we saw a lot of interest in these types of capabilities that facilitate adoption. What have you been seeing on your side of the fence, Will?
Yeah, yeah. Again, you even touched on the fact this all ties back to the tech trends that we saw earlier, and e-signature, points to the trend we saw earlier about 85% of communications being digital, and you want that to be two-way communication. So you're closing the loop and tightening up the communications back and forth with your clients. So e-signature is table stakes for Eloquence and for our solution. And cloud readiness, it's kind of funny. I've worked in other highly regulated industries like legal, where mitigating risk as it relates to security in the cloud is something that's always been a concern. So we have customers who obviously still run on-prem, but are ready to go to the cloud. And we've had enough experience migrating those customers at a pace that makes sense for them, and giving them a broad range of solutions, whether it's a hybrid solution, whether it's public or private cloud. We give them those options, and we can help support them through that process. Authoring tools and ease of use, that's a big one, right? I mean, all of the numbers that I've talked to in terms of the results and experiences our clients have had comes as a result of that ease of use. And all too often, I mean, I've worked at software companies that support business process and workflow in a wide range of different industries and different applications. All too often, I've seen that UI and ease of use piece of it taken for granted. And what I mean by that is that may mean that they have one UX person in-house who owns that owns that part of the puzzle. Cincom actually works with an organization called Human Factors International. They're global experts in the area of user-centered design, and we rely on their expertise across thousands of clients in different industries to make sure that our authoring interface maximizes the ease of use. So we continuously get customer input and feedback, but we work through experts in the field of human design and user experience to make sure that we're giving customers a tool that's pleasing to use, that minimizes the mouse clicks and takes the burden out of the whole process for them. And the end goal there is to make Eloquence the most intuitive document composition solution in the industry. And we think we've achieved that just from the results that we've seen from a lot of our customers. So from an authoring standpoint too, the things that make our tool great is not just creating those documents, but also giving them the tools to test things out live within the system itself. So template designers using Eloquence can preview their documents from the output of their choice. So any of those channels, digital, print, text, what have you. They can use a sample input data file and different system dates. So they can test date-specific functions directly from the authoring environment. They don't have to go outside of that environment or that experience to make sure the thing that they've authored and created flows and functions with the data from the different systems that they use as well. We had one major property casualty insurance customer tell us, now we only have to test once as opposed to multiple times. And this is a huge game changer for us. So they didn't have to test based on the different output types. They could do it from the system and test it across multiple channels. Integration, that's a huge component, right? And that's true whether you're talking about in-house systems that you have, or if you've made the jump and the leap to third-party platforms. So we have customers like Montana State Fund, where that was true. They wanted seamless integration between Eloquence and all their core systems. So it was their PHS policy system, Guidewire Claim Center. They had an IBM FileNet imaging system. And we see this time and again, right? A disparity of systems, systems that may be integrated with their proprietary system today or were not integrated before. So we're trying to drive content consistency while streamlining all the workflow process there and give them integration across all those systems.